And it's Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. We gotta get over it. Sorry. No one likes Mondays. Well, I'm liking it a lot more since a new episode of Spartan Ops gets released every Monday, so I'm fine with that. Today I like to break away from talking about an individual game and do what I usually do, which is have a topic and use a game to explain my justification for said topic. And I'd like to discuss randomness. Random events or randomly happening things. Random events being stuff like in Fallout, encountering different strangers and whatnot, or random things like items in Borderlands, or map generation for XCOM. When you consider all the stuff that goes into creating an event like that, or an item, or a map, you have to think about there's modeling, there's artwork itself, there's the level designer in case of a level who has to make sure everything is solid. You have to make sure that lines get executed correctly. You have to make sure that everything works properly by programming. All these little things for something that might never be encountered by a player. There's probably a weapon I will never see in my life when I play Borderlands. And yet the ability to have it happen is in the game. Now, I'm not saying that's a problem with games. And that's just something you have to consider when you look at and when you blame a game for issues. And I'm going to specifically talk about XCOM, the recent XCOM, I should say, as why I'm making this video. And it's that you never know if that crash bug that happened last night was because a character who was from Japan with pink hair and brown armor with voice number 7 shot a sectoid for 2 damage with a plasma pistol 20 hours ago. That might have caused that crash to happen. And that could never be replicated. And that's the big issue with randomization. Is that if you can't replicate the circumstances, then you can't fix the issues that are a result of those circumstances. Now, do you see the problem there? I mean, XCOM has been reported to be one of the buggiest games of all time recently. And it's because no shot will ever be the same. No map will ever be the same. No amount of anything will ever be the same playing through that game twice. And that is hard to pound the bugs out. It's goddamn impossible in some cases. So when you're going to blame a game for bugs, sit back and think, well, why? What caused these bugs? And if you can go back in and reproduce that issue, then gripe about it. Now, certainly, games get released with bugs. Lots of games do. I don't even want to think about the number of texture issues that bugs ship with these days. That games ship with these days. What the hell was that? But when you look at a big open world game like Fallout with all these different occurrences which consistently get rendered over and over again. Like you go away from somewhere and a corpse will stay at that location and you come back and that corpse is still there. You think about that corpse is constantly being rendered in the world. Which, when you look at it, means that a lot is going on and a lot can't be taken care of. No amount of testing and programming can fully iron out a huge game. You can make it run as smooth as possible, but there will always be that person that's able to break something else. Something else is going to go wrong. You fix something X, and then Y is going to break. That's just the magic of games and the magic of randomization. Now, granted, typically we get some of the most interesting bugs in human history out of randomization. Stuff like Skyrim giants launching people. Of course, that's maybe not so much a random thing, but maybe just a funny thing. But I had to include it. It's tough to say whether or not we should really call out a company for an issue in a game with so much depth in terms of what can happen. Personally, I don't really want to say you should, because I feel like it's kind of a dick move, and yet the responsibility of us as a community is to. And that's the interesting thing, isn't it? It's all up to us how we perceive this random error. You can look at it as the worst thing ever to happen in your game, like getting all your badass ranks deleted. Or it could be the funniest thing ever, like a head that just floats indefinitely after the person's been dead. It's always going to be different for everyone, and that's why we love it. Hopefully. Well, that is all for me today, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the month of December, which means that the holiday seasons are approaching. I hope that you don't freeze, or in the case of where I am, don't sweat because it's like 70 degrees, which feels odd. But I am done for now, and I shall see all of you later.